to debate each other twice, once in June, again in September. The first TV face-off for these two since 2020. One of the stories that fell in our laps today. Joining us, our political panel to get into this. Maura Gillespie, founder and principal at Blue Stack Strategies, along with Jim Kessler, executive vice president at Third Way. Great to see both of you. Welcome back. Jim, I'm not sure where to start with this whole idea. The commission is apparently out. We're going to start doing these on individual networks. If you happen to be watching CNN or ABC one night, maybe you'll catch a presidential debate. Is this the new era of debating?
Well, it's the new era in 2024. Look, I thought this was a great move by Joe Biden.
Yeah.
He's getting the debate format that he wants. He took the initiative here. There was questions about whether he even won a debate. Not only does he want the debate, he wants two, and he got the two that he wanted. And I also think, look, nobody asks for a debate if they think they're winning, okay? So I also believe this is the Biden administration saying, we've got to rev it into high gear. This isn't one. This is the way to do it. We're going to take the initiative. So I was very glad to see this. So many norms have been broken. This is just another norm.
I guess that's true. Precedent doesn't really mean much anymore. But Maura, to Jim's point about the idea that you don't necessarily ask someone not to duel but to debate unless you think that you're losing. Is a debate a way for Joe Biden to win when we know what had happened in debates in 2020 when Trump was speaking over him? Maybe there'll be a mute button now, but Joe Biden actually had to ask him at one point to shut up on the stage. We know that Donald Trump doesn't always tend to veer as much towards the truth. It may require a great deal of fact checking on the part of President Biden. Is it possible for him to win one of these against him?
I think with the format being so that there is no audience, that it is simply a one-on-one conversation that's moderated, I do think that works in favor of Joe Biden, presuming that he is prepared and ready to go, because we know what Donald Trump will do. As you mentioned, he is a bit childish. He likes to throw insults. He likes to say no without having any substance to back it up. He's very good at debates. I think this is going to make comedians pretty happy. They'll have some new material to work with. I think of Shane Gillis and the others who are going to be pumped about this. But I do think that Joe Biden can, show his policy chops here and put Donald Trump on the spot.
Make my day, pal. That's where this campaign is going.
Very Scranton.
Well, is it? Are you buying that, Joe Biden, or were your eyes rolling this morning?
Look, I liked it, and that's part of Joe Biden. That's the come on.
Yeah. Dark Brandon is back?
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think this is good for him. Like I said, the format is very good for him. And
when you say that, by the way, you mean no audience, right?
I mean a format in which it's hard for chaos to descend upon the debate. And look, Joe Biden did win the two debates with Donald Trump. And I do have a warning for Joe Biden here. I can't remember the last time an incumbent president had a good first debate. Oh, yeah. And that goes all the way back to Ronald Reagan in 1984, with Walter Mondale and Jimmy Carter against Ronald Reagan. So Joe Biden needs to be on top of his game here. I think he will be because he knows the stakes. But, this is high stakes. I think Biden won round one, though.
All right. Well, June 27th is marked on all of our calendars. Joe and I also had our calendar marked for yesterday, May 14th, because of the Senate primary in Maryland, the Democratic primary specifically, in which David Trone poured $60 million of his own money into and lost to Angela Alsobrooks by double digits. Pretty bruising, but can she beat Larry Hogan?
I think she will beat Larry Hogan. I feel that this is the race that Republicans are going to pour a lot of money in and be disappointed. Like the fundamentals of a Maryland Senate race, it's very different than a governor's race. Susan Collins is the only candidate in the last 6 years to win a race in the state where the president didn't win that state. So I think this is going to be tough for Hogan.
Wow. More of the headline, dethroned. Have we learned enough times over again that money is not everything in politics? If it's the mother's milk, a lot of people are drinking water.
Money is not everything in politics, but it is always impressive to see how much money people are willing to put into it to get themselves across the finish line. I think I'll disagree with Jim here. I do think Larry Hogan is a strong candidate. He's a real problem for Democrats because they didn't want to have to put so much money into Maryland that they're now going to have to do. So I think that there's an opportunity for Republicans to be excited about Maryland. I don't know that they're super jazzed about Larry Hogan because he's not the Republican perhaps that Trump would want to have, but he would put a win in their column, a seat, for their potential majority, and increases their chances of taking over the Senate come the fall.
What's more likely, though, Maura, that Maryland flips red or that Ohio or Montana stay blue in terms of the Senate seats?
I think Montana could go red, so I think that that's more likely to flip as opposed to Maryland. But I still think that Larry Hogan's a really good candidate. Perhaps I'm a bit biased because I do enjoy him, but I think that if there were ever an opportunity for them to take both, then this is probably it.
All right, Maura Gillespie and Jim Kessler, our wonderful political panel this evening. Thank you so much.